Okay, I had this Batman picture that I already had drawn. Sorry, I don't have a tutorial for this one. Maybe I'll do it later on how to draw Batman. But for this video, I just wanted to focus on shading. And I think a lot of times we all like to draw, but we just don't want to do the shading part. But it really makes the picture a lot better and a lot more realistic. So here we go. Let's say the sun is coming or the light source is coming from this area. So start with the ears here. That's a little boundary. Draw some shading here. Okay. Let it go down a little bit. Draw a line here. Once again, some more shading. Also here where the like the head kind of caves in. If that makes any sense. I don't know. But yeah. Let's do that. Going down a little further here. Definitely see where these where the bones coming out, the cheekbone or whatever. I set it like a boundary to know where to put the shading. That's what makes it easier after you draw. Still continue with this side of the face, with these boundaries, if that makes any sense. So yeah, and not too much. Just shading in, just shading within the lines. We're going back to when we was like in kindergarten. Anyone can do this. Some places I don't have a boundary, but it can make it make sense. And it could go past the boundary a little bit. It just got to be kind of realistic. Right here. This won't have much. It'll be in and around this line, but more so on this side. You see what I'm saying? If that makes sense. All right. Let's do a little bit more right here. You gotta do a little study on how the physiology or anatomy of people, and really just look at other comic books and artwork. You see why they put the shading where they put the shading. This is not hard. Let's not make it hard. And like I always say, gotta have fun. Have fun. You see, it's kind of more shaded right here, so I gotta put some more here. Try to make it as even as possible, but don't focus on one part and make it, uneven. Doing the best we can here. This will have a little bit also like shading in where the connection of whatever this part of the skull is. And you're almost doing a little more drawing, but doing more shading than drawing, if this makes sense. Doing the best we can here. Like I said, you can go a little bit on it and around it. Just make a little sense. That's all. Doing the best we can here. Right here is all shaded in, it's right in the crease or in between the brow bones or whatever that bone is really called. I'm not a doctor or anything. I don't know the technical terms for any of these things. All right. This part of the nose. And just shading in. Make it look nice. That's good. That's good. That's good. Mm-hmm. I believe over here needs some. Yeah. Even though the sun is coming here, in certain places like here, because you know this brow right here is covering this area. So, like I said, it could be wrong, but I don't think so. Like I said, whatever this bone is called, this crease is kind of the sun is hitting here. So this will be shaded in more. This kind of stand out on it. And then when the nose starts coming out here, so it hits the sun hits here, but it shades this. And this part of the face is coming out. It's just, like I said, when in doubt, look at other art comic book pictures. They know what they're doing. I feel like I'm missing something here. Maybe a little bit, just a little. These places you're just gonna put a little bit. You're not gonna put a lot. Connect this a little bit. Trying to see before I move any further. Under the lips, they have a little bit of something. A little shade, just a little something here. Maybe half of this might get shaded. I'm not sure about this. I might erase this because it doesn't look right to me. Yeah, you just gotta study anatomy a little bit. But actually no, I don't really think that was needed. If I could find my eraser, I will erase it. Let me just use this one right here. All right, there we go. There's something wrong with this. I don't know. I might be overthinking it. Like I said, I'm not a doctor or anything. I'll shade this in a little bit more because it seems like this is darker. This one right here. I think this needs a little TLC. That boundary right there. Whatever. Moving on. A little shading here. Definitely. A little shading here. Right under the Adam's apple. Like I said, studying the anatomy. Like this muscle, bone, or whatever comes down here more. So, like you could just feel your neck and see how it come about. Anyway, let's do this. See how it comes out. All right. I said this bone, remember? I mean, muscle bone. I don't know. Comes out here a little more, so. You'll step back and look at it, you know. Say to yourself, maybe. Forgot this, like I said, sun's coming here, so this might go like get more light. So use this as a boundary and put a little shading on this side. I mean, just maybe, maybe. We're trying to make this look more realistic. Sun's coming here, so let's put a little something right here. Just a little bit. See, more of the shading is here. It's going to be a little bit here. But it's going to be, well, more here compared to here. But it's going to be shading everywhere. We just got to find where we want to put it. Like I said, studying anatomy. I don't know anatomy, ladies and gentlemen. I just don't know anatomy. So I'm just gonna put, what drawing you're gonna learn that stuff. Doing a lot. The more you practice, practice makes perfect. We already know this, ladies and gentlemen. We know this, yes. Try to make the lines connect a little bit so it doesn't look like scribbling. I like that. I think it's not bad so far. I feel like light is all the way here. Light hits this, light hits that. Maybe not too much at this part. It's not going to be perfect, ladies and gentlemen. It is not going to be perfect at all. This part is going to be tricky. You notice some muscle right here. This is the light here. You know what? Let's do it like this. I might erase that. But I'm going to connect all of this. Excuse me. I like it. Looking pretty darn good. It's the cape, so maybe we could draw things into the cape. All we know is going to be more shading on this side. So whatever I do here, I'm going to do less over there. You know? It's not going to be too long a video. I don't think it needs to be. Okay. I might jump from left to right, right to left. You know, I'm really all over the place. Where my eyes landing, I think is not good or needs some touch. Okay, now arm muscles. Some more shading in here. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. little bit so you can see it better. I don't know if I said this, but if you really want to take your artwork to another level, there's online drawing schools like Proko, called Proko, Proko. They'll get you right. Sometimes I browse the website and study for myself, buy a course. Their prices are pretty decent, I think. They'll help you out. Let's see here. Yada yada yada. You know, there's only gonna be so much here with the chest because it's really poking out. At least when I draw my comic book characters, I like to draw with some muscle. So it's gonna be in between more with the muscles, the ab muscles, excuse me. Not much on this side, not much at all. Yeah, a little more here. Can't stress enough, this is just a rough shading sketch. Nothing I do is perfect. Like, this is my version of a Batman. Of course, I don't own the character. I don't want no trouble. I did not invent Batman. I don't know if I have to say that or not, but just in case people just get upset. Okay. I think I should do a little more on the left side now. Like I said, the sun's coming here, so I'm gonna put a little bit right here. Sun hits here, so there'll be just a little shading right here, in between these muscles. If you look at a little bit of anatomy, you'll see what I'm saying. You don't need to study it. For however long you want to study it, just look at, basic anatomy pictures on the internet. And you'll learn how to draw whatever you're trying to draw. Some more of the cape. Yeah, let's draw this here. I don't know if you can see it on the video. I will adjust it a little bit so everyone can see. Did I put it up high enough? Hope I did. Okay. Yada yada yada. We're pretty much almost done. Sorry, I had to move my camera a little bit. Just want to make sure I got the right angle. And yeah, you've seen it tilt over before. But hey, things happen. It's a little shading on the top side. I mean, you do see what we're doing here. I have way more shading on this side. I'm trying to do way more on this side. Little to none over here. You know, just where these creases are. I only did a couple, you know. A couple creases on the cape. Just a close-up. I like doing close-ups. You can add more definition or really show people what you're trying to do with the close-ups. Yeah. Okay. Not seeing much of this no more. Let's get around the arm muscle more. Creases in the arm, underneath the arm. Very good, very good. A little bit around the cape. See, I'm not doing much around this arm and stuff. So I'm barely gonna touch this arm, but you think about it right here, next to the cape. We need something, because it's, you know, it's under the cape, you know? Sorry, I think the camera's shaking a little bit. Still what I call these creases right under the arm that always needs love. I see in some comic books or just some drawings, they like to put the hard ink right here. And I might start doing that in some future drawings. Yeah, I might. Now with this, like I said, just draw within the line. It will be nowhere as thick as this one. Nowhere near as thick. And I'll just stop right there. Position it this way. I think that will work. Do I need to put it up a little more? I don't know. I'm probably doing a little too much. Just sometimes step back and look at it. Just see what I'm doing. I like to take my time. People may say, oh, you're doing too long of a video, but I really want people to see I care about making it right. You know what I'm saying? And that's shading. Think about coloring the back symbol. Yeah. But I was like, I'll just keep it the way it is. Yeah, because really I'm just focused on shading on this video. All right, hopefully the video wasn't too long. Well, I just can't leave it alone. Do more on this side, right? Like I was saying, more on this side. See what I'm saying? Like that. Position it. Something's missing. I know y'all see it. Well, maybe not. Yeah, maybe a little bit on this. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. So that shading probably kind of too long of a video, but that's shading for you. All right, shading using the Batman picture.